A new study co-authored by an Indiana University researcher says the United States is not doing enough to keep its roads safe. But as WTIU Stan Jastrzebski reports, the numbers might not be as dire as the report's conclusions.
The report compares drivers in the United States with those in 16 other high-income countries around the world, and to look at the percentages, the U.S. appears to lag behind. From 1997 to 2008, the U.S. trailed all the other countries in terms of its annual reduction of traffic fatalities, lowering its rate at about a quarter the speed that Slovenia did, for instance. But as the study's lead author, Clint Oster, points out, the United States began with a statistical advantage.
We used to have the safest highways in the world, and now we don't. And so the question is, are there some things we can do to reduce the loss of life?
In fact, the U.S. had a lower auto fatality rate than every country in the world in 1970, at only 3 deaths per 100 million kilometers driven. France's and Japan's rates, by contrast, were at least 3 times that. By 2008, most nations in the study had dropped their rates by 85 to 90%, while the U.S. only fell 74%. While the American percentage drop is smaller, it's important to note the initial rate was much better, so there was less potential for improvement. Now, the U.S. has a death rate similar to other nations in the report, with many of them below 1 fatality per 100 million kilometers. In fact, that's just one factor which Oster says makes an apples-to-apples comparison difficult.
You can normalize it a little bit by looking in terms of fatalities per some number of passenger miles, so that you can at least get rates of fatalities, and that will get you through differences in sizes of countries and populations and that sort of thing.
You can find a copy of the study at indianapublicmedia.org. For WTIU News, I'm Stan Jastrzebski.